Hello and welcome to Tech Cubicle on SAP. I'm Daryl Griffiths and this is my weekly 180 where I spend 180 seconds on the latest techie news that impacts the world of SAP. At the end, I'll pick my favourite to review in a little more detail in the cubicle. Plus, I play a little game that I've invented that I'm calling Linked AIN, where I find a post on LinkedIn that I'm convinced is AI generated. In my SAP techie news this week, Amazon Web Services have announced the retirement of the SAP on AWS Specialty Certification, PAS-C01. The certification is retiring at the end of April this year, with the preparation resources available until the 29th of April. If you have passed this exam, the certificate will remain active for 3 years from the date it was earned. Vouchers for the exam are valid until 29th of April. There is no news of any replacement certificate. Don't confuse PAS-C01, which is SAP specific, with SAP-C02, which is not SAP specific. The PAS stands for Solutions Architect Professional. The PAS-C02 is not retiring at this point in time, but that's really confusing. Maybe that's why PAS-C01 is being retired, who knows. The link for the FAQ site is in the description down below. Google releases its ABAP SDK for SAP S/4HANA. This is the very same ABAP SDK that has been powering Google's parent company business since 2019 and is now generally available for Google Cloud customers. The SDK is very similar to the AWS ABAP SDK. It requires loading into the SAP system and provides a convenient set of ABAP packages with classes for calling Google Cloud services such as ML and AI. The SDK is downloadable for free. The link is in the description down below. SAP HANA 2.0 SPS7 revision 76 is released. Remember that SPS 6 is now out of maintenance and you will need to upgrade to SPS 7 to remain supported. Also note that SPS 7 has some additional operating system requirements, which may mean you need to upgrade your operating system. There are approximately 29 fixes across a large number of components, so be sure to check the SAP note. 3414279 is the note, which I'll put in the link in the description down below. Also worth mentioning is the central note 29582224, where you can stay on top of all the revisions for all the HANA support package stacks. That's where I get my info. We know that Rise with SAP S/4HANA Private Cloud Edition Customer Data Center option is an actual thing, but as a product name, it's a bit of a lengthy one. Maybe we can shorten it to RWS S4 PCE CDO. Well, did you know that Oracle has a similar offering for its database hosting solution, which is simply called Oracle Cloud at Customer? The article of interest is a story about Deutsche Bank amalgamating 1,300 Oracle databases into the Oracle Exadata Cloud at Customer solution, which hosts the hardware in Deutsche Bank's own data centers. It's not just SAP that are calling this type of solution cloud. I'm not convinced this is true cloud by definition, but if you can look past that word, then as a method of delivery, it is clearly something that the market is buying. Finally, after my moan last week that the product releases page for S/4HANA Cloud had not been updated with 2402, it's finally updated. Yay! Moaning does get results. Or maybe just coincidence. We will never know. Link down in the description if you've been waiting. My favourite item this week is the AWS certification retirement. I was never convinced by these specialty certifications because they didn't seem to contain anything outside of the existing knowledge pools. Generally, knowledge of the platform from one of the generic certifications, coupled with knowledge of how to run SAP and how to migrate SAP, that is OSDB migration, is enough without needing a dedicated course and certification. I've heard stories of ex-colleagues passing the exam with no actual experience on AWS. We know that SAP and its technologies are more complex than imagined by even the AWS developers themselves. Just watch my latest feature-length video on autoscaling of SAP on AWS and you'll see what I mean. If you've paid money for this certification, have you found it useful in your career? Drop me a comment down below. I'm now watching to see if the Azure Specialty certification also disappears. But note, there has never been a Google Cloud equivalent certification. And finally, as a bit of fun, I've devised a bit of a game I'm calling Linked AIN. More and more posts on LinkedIn are being created using AI. Some are hard to spot, but others really do stand out to me. This week, I sacrificed this post to the human editors. To me, this looks like it is AI generated. Look at the introduction for starters. Is LinkedIn a family? Really? We've got the now obligatory emoticons littering the text throughout, but this week the main post is not the main show here. If we delve into the comments, we find the use of AI as a comment responder. One comment, clearly annoyed at the blatant use of AI in the post, has been responded to by the post author using AI. Cheeky, and not the first time I've seen this. There are tools that allow a user to enter the original comment, click a button, and an AI response to the comment is generated. The user is able to set the tone, whether professional or friendly and informal. Drop a comment below stating whether you agree that this is AI generated or not. Maybe you've seen a post that you think is definitely AI generated. Send it to me for review on my next 180. As always, reference links are in the description. Drop me a comment down below, give the video a thumbs up, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and always wash your hands after leaving the cubicle. Bye bye.